If I was not moving to Thailand in a few months, I would buy a tent, go into the forest alone, and never come back. Anyway, a lot of women want to meet you at the finish line, but they do not want to help you train and win the race. This is because they believe they are the prize. So when you win, you get the trophy, cash, and them. If you do not take into account what men want, then this sounds reasonable and logical. And all the women in these video clips never take into account what a man wants. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you a true story about why, when some black men become successful, they get a white girl.
Would you rather kiss me or kiss the prettiest girl in the world for $1 million?
$1 million to kiss the prettiest girl in the world?
Yes.
Do I get $1 million if I kiss you?
No, you only get $1 million if you kiss the prettiest girl in the world.
Well, obviously I'd pick the prettiest girl in the world and get $1 million. We'd be rich.
Yes, we would. But did you think to say, I'm the prettiest girl in the world?
But you're not.
The book is based on a survey where men and women were asked if they got 80% of everything they want in their ideal mate, would they be happy with that? And women said, no, that's settling. And men said, 80%, I'd be thrilled, that's a catch. And so
80% of the women you surveyed is settling?
What actually makes us happy in long-term romantic love?
What are women too picky about here?
Well, I'll tell you, men and women were asked what would be a deal breaker for going on a second date. And men named 3 things. They said she has to be cute enough, she doesn't have to look like Angelina Jolie, she has to be warm and kind, and she has to be interesting to talk to. The women came back with 300 things that would rule out a guy for a second date. And we're talking about like another 2 hours and maybe a free dinner. And they wouldn't do it. And there were things like, he wore a brown belt with black shoes. Or we were having a really good time and I thought he was cute and he was interesting, but then he did this Austin Powers impression and I just can't get that out of my mind and I can't go out with him again.
Major red flags in guys.
14 red flags.
10 of the most common red flags to look out for when dating, part 7.
What are 3 red flags in a guy?
If they're under 5'6".
If he actually uses Facebook.
Say if he doesn't like an outfit that you're wearing, the picture that you posted.
I have a lot of these.
When they're really, really close to their mother.
You go on a first date with them and it's like the best first date of your life.
Don't date Korean men who are good at English.
When he texts me back, I'm like really happy. Red flag.
And their eyebrows are not moving. They're not mirroring back some kind of expression.
They're only child too.
Man grooming.
They're calling, they're texting.
Flowers out of nowhere.
Only child? That's not even their fault.
Oh, well, I don't know. I feel like they're just like so self-centered.
See a guy, like, you're trying to pursue me, right? But I'm just like, no. Oh, no. And then you keep trying. The woman likes it because she feels like she's wanted. She feels special. So let's say I'm the woman and you're the guy that there's 2 guys approaching me, okay? So you're the handsome one, there's another one that's not as attractive. So for the one that I'm attracted to, I want you to pursue me, and I may say no a couple times, but I still want you to keep trying. But then there's another guy who's not that attractive who's pursuing me. I'm like, no, seriously, stop. Like, I don't like it, and he keeps trying. That guy's not going to get anywhere. But if you keep trying, eventually I'll give in.
But why? But I don't want to do that.
I think that it's sexist that they have such large opinions on the fact that makeup is deceptive.
It's sexist for men to have large opinions on makeup.
Why? How is it sexist?
Don't you have a rather large opinion on a man's height?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Yeah. It's literally the same exact thing.
Oh no, I think this is like a debate that's been going on for like a really long time, and I think that the fact that men just won't let women be and like do what makes them happy, and that they get so pissed off that a woman doesn't look like how she actually looks. First of all, I think that is superficial, and I'm not saying that it's bad because I'm also superficial, but
like having a preference about a man's height, they can't control that, but men having a preference about how much makeup you wear, you can control that.
I
I don't agree, because I've met a lot of high value men who are very successful that want a woman who has passion and drive and focus as well.
Let me ask you a question on that. Do you think that men lie to get laid?
Yes.
Do you think men will tell you what you want to hear to get laid?
Never.
The more money a man makes, the less he cares about the money that you bring or
Right,
your career.
yeah.
So I would argue that actually the less money a guy makes, that might be the type of guy who is more inclined to have some sort of care about the money you bring. If he's looking long term into like, okay, I want a family, the economic reality, we're gonna need 2 incomes. He might care, but you specifically mentioned like high earners, and I would argue high earners actually, the more money a guy makes, the less he cares about how much money he makes.
That's crazy that you put so much importance on body count. Like, that's just so crazy to me.
Why is it crazy?
Because I just don't see why it matters. Like, why does it matter what... I mean, like, I can understand, like, if she cheated. Okay, she cheated. Okay, I get that.
Sure.
But how many people she chose to sleep with, I don't understand.
There's a ton of reasons why. So body count, your past, is proxy for promiscuity. So somebody who has a high body count, that can be a proxy for current promiscuity. I certainly don't want that. Also, if you have a high body count, greater likelihood of STD. And also, the more partners you have, the greater difficulty when it comes to pair bonding with somebody. If you've had 50 previous partners and I'm number 51, you're not going to view me in a particularly special way.
Once you hit 30, no offense, why would a man go for a 30-year-old when he can have a fresh 21-year-old that men look at it as, oh, she's 30, which means she's older, she's been ran through, she's tarnished, she's hardened by all the relationships, so she's lost her femininity because she's masculine.
That's what I want to ask you.
Men think about these type of things, and it's very unfortunate that women don't realize that until they hit 30. They want to be in their 20s and be like, oh yeah, I can fuck this guy, fuck that guy, but they don't realize you're ruining yourself. And then you're trying to find yourself, and by the time you're 30, you're like, where have all the good men gone? Not to you, because you ran.
You have been dating your girl for however long, 5 years. You take her to Turks and Caicos. You open up her phone and you've seen something from 10 years ago. You're calling it off.
Yeah.
Like dead ass.
Yeah.
You've already, Dad, this is what I'm doing. Like this, you're calling it off.
Let me ask you another question then. One more time. Another dream scenario to make so this all makes sense. Let's say you go to a fortune teller. That man of your dreams, you find out 5 years from now, he's gonna be broke. No ability to provide security for you. He's gonna become an alcoholic. Would you stay with him now that you're armed with this information?
No.
Fantastic. Women are interested in a man's future. A man is interested in a woman's past. So that's the difference. We are completely opposite in the way we view the opposite gender, the way we view sex, the way we view relationships. There's a masculine and a feminine. There are things that men can do that women can't, and vice versa.
You can't expect us to be wifey material for someone that doesn't deserve it.
Automatically wrong.
Okay, so you expect me to give my all and give my best to
I expect you to appreciate the men that built the world around you, that allow you to be able to live in a first world country. The entitlement you guys have. So entitled. In college today, the average man sitting in college with a woman knows that woman wants a man making 6 figures. They can't even date because today young women don't want men who are making average money. The men you typically date are older and have money.
Yeah.
You want everything. You don't know what the world costs. And that is why most women cannot respect men. Gentlemen, act accordingly. Treat them equal if they want to be treated equal.
There's too many simps.
Yes, but the reason there are simps is because most men struggle because the standards are so high. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The standards have become very high, right? So most men don't qualify. So you have a huge number of men who are quite desperate because they're not getting anything. So then they feel the only way they can get anything is by throwing whatever money they have to women for their minuscule attention. That elevates the women in the economy, which makes their standards even higher for the kind of man that they want.
Okay, cool. Women have set their standards super high, but I feel like if I was a man who didn't reach those standards, I would do everything in my power to better myself and reach those standards.
I agree with you, but then what happens is if that man then breaks into that pool of men who have a lot of options, he's going to be like, I worked my fucking arse off to get here. There's no way that you're not sharing me. I worked my arse off to get to the point that I can have a level of abundance. 90% of you didn't want me before, now 85% of you want me now. And one of you want me to be exclusive to you? No. Guys who actually make it to the point that they have a lot of options, they're like, I love you, babe, but you're gonna have to share me because I work my ass off to be in this position.
The bottom line is you don't want it to be 50-50. But here's the thing. Okay, so listen, this is important. Ready? Mm-hmm. That means this career you're talking about, you're going to give it up anyway because the real career is your husband. He's going to be bringing in all the money. If you get the man you want, he's going to be the major breadwinner. You are not going to be responsible. So this extra degree, extra thing is all actually not going to an outcome. It's just sitting on the wall.
You think so?
Man, if you have a husband paying 75% of everything and you're paying 25%, you are not in a career. You got a job. He's carrying the lion's share. So why do you need a master's or anything else like that to cover 25%? No. Listen.
I was gonna
because this is what so many sisters don't do. They just go talk about jobs and careers and this, but when it gets right down to it, I really don't want to have to be the one responsible for the financial load. I hope God blesses me with a man that I can be, and that's fine. So start with the end in mind.
This is the University of Chicago Law School. My brother graduated from this law school. If you graduate from this law school or the business school, you are guaranteed to become wealthy. However, after graduating, my brother decided to become a poor, struggling actor. One of my other male friends was an accountant, and then he went back to college and became a doctor. Basically, the point I'm trying to make is you never know what a man is going to become. Anyway, this is just me walking around the campus. I already told this story in another video, but I got new subscribers and they may not have heard this story, so I'm going to tell it again. Back in the 80s, I went to Arizona State University. There was about 1,000 black people at this university. These 1,000 people included all the students, faculty, staff, professors, and athletes. Some high schools in Chicago have over 1,000 students. We all might not have known each other, but most of us knew of each other. This story is about a black girl named Jazz. Jazz was dating a man on the football team. I'm gonna call him Dave. I forgot his real name and I never met him, but I knew Jazz. Jazz and I went on a double date, and the man she was with was not another student, but a working professional. The man had a high-paying job. Anyway, Jazz's boyfriend got injured, so he redshirted. In college, you get to play sports for about 5 years, but one of those years you must sit on the sidelines for things such as recovering from injury or trying to get your grades up, and this is called redshirting. During this time, Jazz broke up with him and started pursuing other men with money. All the black girls on campus knew one another, and because of this, they would never date each other's man. So Jazz knew that no other black girl on campus would date or pursue her boyfriend while she was pursuing men with money. So she believed that if or when he made it to the pros, he would still be available. However, Jazz never took into account the white girls on campus. So when the next year came and he was back playing football and he got drafted to the pros, this is when Jazz asked some of his black men on campus the following: why is it when a black man becomes successful, he gets a white girl? Yes, we all heard this bullshit before. The white girls on campus knew he never cheated on Jazz, so they all knew that he was a good man. And when they found out he was free, they all came after him hard. So when he needed Jazz, she left him. While the white girls came and cleaned his house, did his laundry, cooked, and all that stuff. They helped him heal from his injury. They were there for him when he needed someone. Then he got drafted to the pros and married one of them. So when black women say, why do black men get a white girl after they become successful, what they're really saying is that they will only be with a man when he becomes successful, or a man that might become successful. And if the man does not fall into one of those categories, then she has to keep looking. They want to meet you at the finish line, but they do not want to help you train or win the race. A lot of women believe they are the prize, so when you win, you get the trophy, cash, and them.